Hello and welcome to the apocalypse, listeners.
Wrong dude again.
Wrong, dude, again. We got limited airwaves here.
Clip that.
I forget, did we introduce ourselves normally?
Yeah, normally.
Silver here again, and we have our returning other hosts of. They're having a staring contest to figure out who's going to say it next.
I'm Mage.
Yo, what up? This be Mondi.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the podcast.
We all be doing an accent.
That is 100% getting clipped.
I cannot do an accent in all this time.
If you could change your fate.
Oi, don't get me started on that.
Oh, this episode is not about accents, which we should do an episode about dubbed accents.
I am already opening the tab to add it to the list.
That's just peachy, man. Good job.
God, I'm now over it.
We have to have a third party involved if we do accents. That way we have somebody to rate our accents besides we rating each other.
No. It'll be accents of characters in like anime and video games, not like each other's accents.
Oh, why? Personal accents? What could go wrong?
Because we're all from the same place.
That makes it better.
This is Mondi's Elmo accent.
Hi everybody, this is Elmo speaking.
You don't have to touch it to your mouth when you talk.
I didn't touch it to my mouth. Now I am. It tastes like chicken.
The one podcast I listen to, it's called the Snark Tank. They always make fun of the one guy in it because he's really loud. But every time he gets loud, he moves like towards the mic, and then when he's normally talking, he moves away.
I got this chintzy little snowball from Mage, and I have to be careful with it because it doesn't pick me up.
You can throw it for all I give a shit.
Okay. Hey.
No.
It is called a snowball. Silver's just worried about the destruction it's going to do to the sound waves.
11 minutes in, and we're already derailed.
I'm not worried about that as much as him having to record from his gaming headset, which
not great.
Except his laundry machine when it does laps around his house.
I can't argue.
So today we are doing, this is episode 6, we're doing power systems. Silver, do you want to describe power systems for us?
I can, or since you lost, would you like to?
All right, eat a dick. I wasn't going to bring that up, but all right. Yes, I did lose the last episode. It's very sad.
What does that bring our score to?
You and I both have 2 and Mondi has 1.
Wins or loses?
Wins. I'm not counting losses. Okay. Do you want me to be counting losses?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay, because all we care about is winning over here. So today we're doing power systems. So our categories for it, I think there's going to be 1 to 10, kind of like we've been doing. So we are doing understandability. Is the power system easy to understand? Is it too complex, too simple? Are there any nuances to it? Everything like that. Destructive potential. How destructive are the individuals that utilize the powers? So I think very similar to how it's done on MMM is like city, continent, planet, etc. And then cool factor. How appealing is the power system? What is the process for obtaining the power? Would you want it in real life? I think something to remember for destructive potential as well. I just thought of this. We have to think about how strong other individuals are with that power. So like certain series where like if everyone can destroy planets, is it really that powerful? Just something to keep in mind.
If everybody's a Goku, then no one's a Goku.
Exactly. And with that, I will spin the wheel to see who's going to go first. And starting us off is Silver.
Yes. Is this my first time going first?
I think it is. And you just went second and third every time.
Okay.
Hooray.
So should I start off with complicated or non-complicated?
Oh dear.
We just maybe non-complicated so we can kind of establish the rules.
Okay.
But, go wild.
My power system I would like to throw out here is the power of quirks from My Hero Academia.
That's a really good start. That's actually an amazing start.
And it is not that complicated. they're pretty easy to understand, as like 98% of the people in the world now have quirks, which quirks are special abilities of each human. And these humans usually know if they have quirks or not due to a special bone in their foot.
Which toe?
I believe it's the pinky toe, an extra bone.
Yeah.
Those without this special bone do not have quirks. They are called quirkless and are the power system just kind of suddenly appeared in the world, and then it grew from there as more and more people were born genetically with quirks. They range from anything to controlling elements to changing the physical appearance of their body. It first, before being known as quirks, it was known as meta abilities or meta powers, and it originated in China.
China.
Was it China or Japan?
Well, the first superpower ever recorded was officially the first superpowers ever recorded was a newborn baby in Qingqing City, China, and that was the ability to radiate light from its body.
Yeah. That's also, side note, that's the most racist name for a fake city I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
Ching ching.
Ching Ching City.
it's
Jesus.
Qing. So,
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're pronouncing it right. Okay.
but yeah, it can. The My Hero Academia has like a guy with a squirt bottle for a head, but also there's Gigantomachia, who's pretty much just unstoppable moving force,
he's just a moving mountain.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy that can throw sticky grape balls off the top of his head, and yeah. But it resulted in a superhuman, superpowered society where humans and heroes controlled kind of the order and the corporate. But before that was kind of like mayhem. Oh, and
Well,
quirks can be passed down genetically. So or they can be random. More than likely though, it's genetics. So if
Mm.
like Endeavor's case in Fuyumi, is that Endeavor's wife or Toka?
Yeah, that sounds right.
thought it was Toka.
Well, we were all wrong. It's Ray.
Who's Toka? And
Is that his
Fuyumi.
daughter? I think that's
He's only got one daughter though.
no.
There's a Tokage. Yeah, her name's Tokage. She's the one that can like detach herself into multiple different pieces.
I guess there is only one. There is only one daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like the Endeavor's family, kind of like the Todoroki family, where Endeavor and Ray were fire and ice, and Endeavor was trying to genetically breed a superior quirk user by having both his wife's and his quirks evenly throughout the body, which resulted in Shoto having both, and which also resulted in Toya turning into Dabi.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
What?
Spoilers for MHA if y'all haven't seen it.
Yeah, spoilers for MHA's last few chapters and
I mean, it's
episodes
been out
coming
for a
up.
year.
Yeah, but Toya is Dabi, and this resulted in him getting Fire Quirk, but not being able to use it because he got Ray's weakness to fire,
Yeah.
so his body was not could not withstand his own quirk.
Which we all kind of saw coming, I think.
Mhm.
It was more. I saw it hypothesized from the second Dabi appeared in the manga. Everyone was like, "That's a Todoroki." You're
Yep.
like, "Ah, no, you're lying."
Well, a body not being able to withstand the quirk is also
Mhm.
nasal labor, nasal la-
That's
nasal laser. He couldn't withstand the quirk put into him.
yeah. Okay, I was like, I don't know how much we're getting into spoilers here. That's spoilers as well, because he was born quirkless, and then having a
Yes,
quirk thrust upon him, his body couldn't withstand it. It's the same reason with like Deku, how every time he uses one for all at the beginning, it just rips apart his body.
because he can't control it.
Yeah. All right. Mondi, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Go ahead. I'm gonna put the rating in this chat, so it's right here.
Oh, I forgot we could do that.
So, for destructive potential, understandability of the power system, it's quite simple. You're born with it or you're not. So, or if you're in rare cases, you can find a complete stranger, get in his van, and he'll give you a quirk.
I think you mentioned this too. I think it's hereditary once your family has a quirk, because there's not. I don't think there's any cases of like,
You can actually, because they can change and evolve.
but it's related somehow. It's not like completely opposite
Yeah.
end of the spectrum. That's different though. That's being born just without one. He didn't come out with like
I'd say 90% of the time they're usually similar.
So for understandability, are we going like most understandability is the high and least understandability is a low?
I'd
We
say
because we didn't put
I
numbers on it.
think so.
Silver's behind this week.
That's what I
Yeah.
was going to assume.
Are we doing 1 through 10? Okay. Yeah, I'm going. I mean,
So understandability, I'm going to have to give it a 9 because there are some quirks
mhm.
that are like, I don't know what the heck this does, or like you don't understand how it works.
To be honest, even some people don't know how their own quirks work, aka airy.
Airy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was a good one. Good one. Destructive potential, I'm gonna have to go with a 10 because quirks are fucking destructive.
Stars and stripes.
Yeah, she literally has a quirk that makes her a god.
Mondi, if you move, you shall
Your
lose a
heart will
leg.
stop.
Your heart will stop. But she's got to know the name.
And then cool factor.
They can't. All the quirks can evolve as well, as in Twice's Dead Man Parade, where he could just double himself to double anybody.
Mhm. Was it Sad Man's Parade?
Yep. And
So
Hime
cool.
Katoga can go from stealing people's looks to stealing people's quirks
Quirks.
and
Mhm.
looks, copying them.
He brought up Toga. Mm,
10.
9.5.
That might be the highest rated thing so far.
Well, we should have seen this coming with power systems, and then he throws out the biggest one out
I
there.
100% believe this is going to be the highest scoring episode so far. Because I think we're all going to pick ones that we all like. And coincidentally, we all like the same shit.
This is probably going to be my highest one for understandability.
Yeah, fair. You're going to pick some off the wall shit.
They're just complicated.
Off the wall shit. It's complicated.
They're popular animes, but they're complicated.
So, Mondi, what was your final score for that?
28.5.
Jeez. Okay.
Toga earned me an extra half.
Literally. I don't think that's hyperbole. I think that's correct. Understandability. I will be a little harsher, I think. It's one of my favorite shows. Understandability. Huh?
You're just born with them.
Well, yes and no. You're right that it is like, oh, you're born with it, but like you said, there's people that don't understand their powers. There's people that think they're different than they actually are. There's people that are born with just powers that aren't like susceptible to them. Um, so I think that kind of creates a lot of problems for understandability because there's no like rhyme or reason why someone's not born with one or why someone's born with like, why does Banjo get Black Whip, which is one of the coolest powers, but Grape Rush can throw purple balls from his head?
Or there's that one guy that can just grow his teeth into blades.
Oh yeah, Moonfish. He's just in a straitjacket the whole time.
I mean, they're not all quirks are winners,
They're not. They can't all be all for one.
which is why part of the MHA arc is, quirk or heteromorph the heteromorph quirks getting put down.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing too. It brings in a lot of like quote unquote mutation and discrimination and all of that.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say a solid 7 for understandability. Easy, but brings in problems.
We're not saying Shigaragi was right, but maybe Shigaragi was right.
I'm not saying he's right, but I'm also not saying he's wrong. Destructive potential, I think I'm going to do a 7 as well. Because even like the most powerful quirk was, outside of Star and Stripe, just basic like quirk was Star and Stripe. But even then, she
Shigaraki's
like,
evolved quirk.
but that was only after like All for One gave him all of his quirks as well.
Yeah.
And even then, he can only destroy a certain amount of like ground.
True, it's not like it kept going.
Yeah,
It
he
just
couldn't like put his
finished
hand on the
quick.
earth and just evaporate it.
Mhm.
So it's strong, but like I think he's the apex. He's the strongest, and even then, he's got limitations. They're not all planet
Now
busters.
let's be honest here. If he could put his hand on the ground and just wipe out everything, the show would have been over by now. So they had to nerf him somehow.
You're not wrong. I'll do an 8 for destructive.
Okay, feel
So
better.
yes. Cool factor. Fuck you for picking this early. It's so cool. It's probably the coolest one. I'm gonna give you an 8 just because I don't want to give you too high of a score.
Hey, it's your
I'm just
favorite
fucking with
one.
you.
Come on, give me a
Uh,
10.
I'll give you a
honest.
9.5.
Oh, you watch. The 0.5s are gonna do us in.
I'll give you a 9.5 because you mentioned Moonfish, he's one of the lamest characters, but it's so funny to watch him. Like, there's one scene where he's just on his face and he slinks himself up with his teeth, and it's the lamest shit I've ever seen. I gotta add that up now. So 24.5. God damn, Silver.
Haha.
It's the first one and he wins.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Well, then, since my turn's over, let's spin that wheel.
Spinning the
It sounds so
wheel.
fun. So let's see my phone.
And it is. It's me. Let's go.
Not the mama. Yay!
Not the moment, not the moment, not the moment.
It never ends well for you when you go last. You know this, right?
Yeah. You're 0 for 2 going last.
Thought we weren't keeping track of loss.
Just you.
I am. Just me. I am also gonna go a pretty popular manga slash anime that is getting ready to finish up, which is Black Clover. So this is a shonen that has been out for a couple years now. The main power system in it is through magic, specifically through grimoires. So the use of grimoires in the show help to not adapt magic, but help to channel arcane energy inside of the person that they're born with and can harness and allow them to use magical abilities. The way grimoires are chosen is when you turn 15, you typically receive a grimoire from, I think they show like in Haj Village, it's like a local mage. There's a ceremony. Your grimoire chooses you. Other kingdoms do it differently. I know like the Heart Kingdom trains their soldiers, or not Heart, Diamond. The Diamond Kingdom like trains their soldiers, and then they're given grimoires based on their different like attributes of magic. So it's more fitted to the person versus Clover is like it's almost like the wand chooses you, like Harry Potter. So how it's determined, a lot of it is family lineage comes into play. Certain family lineages pass along magic. So if you have a certain adept for magic, your children can have similar ones as well. It's not entirely true. It more just depends on the bond you have with the child and the family ties to magic. So like how adept your family is with magic and how what they call blessed by mana you are. So how much the mana helps you. Not everyone in the world has magic. A lot of people don't. Like Asta is one of the best examples. The main character has no magic whatsoever until he gets anti magic. But even then, there's certain individuals where their magic is very limited, and they can use very small amounts of magic. Can't be anything like for fighting or for anything like that, but are able to do like household tasks or daily tasks with it. I guess destructive abilities. There's a lot of really crazy shit that happens. The main villain that they're fighting at the end of the series has soul magic and can reincarnate people. So he can just create new bodies for people because he possesses soul, blood, bone, and I think it's gravity. Whatever the last one is, it possesses the 4 different types of magic to reincarnate bodies. So the ability to like use magic in that regard is very powerful. It just depends on like how you use it. I see Silver looking things up. Ooh, one last thing. I forgot to mention this. Uh, when it's also graded in stages. So when they're rating magic of like strength, not only is it graded by like how high up you are in like the wizard by like your magic knight rank, but also the different stages of magic you have. So I believe it goes to 0, and then from 0 it goes to arcane stage, and then to saint stage. So those are the highest stages you can reach. Is like an arcane stage mage or a saint stage mage.
So, understandability, I'm gonna give it a 7 because grimoires are super confusing sometimes. You get a book and you get power, or if you're the Diamond Kingdom, you get a book, you get power, you get a best friend, you kill your best friend, and then they stitch your grimoires together and you get 2 different
Do you
magics.
want to know what's hilarious about that? I went back and watched that the other day. They don't have their grimoires when they're fighting each other. That's why they're so powerful. Is they're just straight up killing each other without like with their just magic potential, which is why he comes and fucks everybody up.
And then they threw us in a room, and then everybody started blasting.
So, anyways, I started blasting.
This just falls into the category of knowledge is power, and if you have a
Mhm.
book with a lot of pages, you have a lot of power. So what I'm hearing is go out and get some Harry Potter books or dictionary. They have a lot of pages, so
Get
they
a
must contain a lot of
dictionary.
power.
Can you imagine someone with a dictionary running up to you and trying to cast a spell?
I
Ah.
cast Hippopotamonoscrotus scutodiaphobia.
You have dictionary. I go find Daniel B. Green and use his Wheel of Time series book, which is every Wheel of Time book stitched
Ugh.
together.
Oh my god. The Wheel of Time just makes me tired.
I don't know what this is, but shout out to Daniel Green if he's watching
It's
this.
one of the longest series ever written. It's like was it like 30 something books?
Something like that. It's like a 4-foot long book.
A 4-foot long book. The poor spine. Destructive potential. I mean, I feel like the grimoires are pretty destructive, let alone the mage's cat using them.
Mm-hmm. When you see a
So,
big difference in power of like a mage that has a grimoire versus doesn't, because it's their ability to like hone the magic.
plus, I mean, but if you see but still, anti-magic trumps all.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
But what
you're
gives him anti-magic power?
an anti-magic devil.
Who is using?
He lives in a book because he got
He
sealed.
lives in a book.
All right, so for destructive, I'm gonna have to give it a 10 because destructiveness is destructive. Cool factor though is gonna have to be a 9 because I don't like books. You lost a point for books.
Oh my god, it's books. That's fine. So what? 10, 10, 8, 7,
Yeah.
25.
I feel like I'm
Oh
gonna
no.
lose just based on
You
understandability.
you had a 9. You had a 9 for cool. You were gonna get a 10, but it dropped.
7,
You
10,
dropped it
9.
to a 9?
Yeah, it was a not for coolness. It was a 9 because you lost a point for it was a book. Yeah, destruction is a 10,
Mm-hmm.
coolness is a 9, and then the
Yeah.
other one was a 7.
Okay. So 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So I'm not the biggest of Black Clover. No how.
Yeah, I know you're not.
It's on the list whenever I get free time, probably this winter.
Winner.
Probably 2 seasons from now.
No, I guess we're not in fall. We're still in summer.
We're in the middle of summer, friend.
Understandability. Everybody gets a book. Book gives you powers. Powers are ranked due to ranking systems. You may not have the best book. You may have Dr. Seuss like Mondi.
Monty's is half a page.
I'd be okay with that.
It looks like the Zatch Bell mini binder things that we used to have,
Yeah.
where it's like it's just one card in each slot. Just
It's travel size.
it's compact.
So it's fairly easy to understand. I know you can
Yeah.
stitch if you completely destroy someone's grimoire with fire, is that possible? Or are they impervious?
I think they're impervious.
How did they tear them then?
Well, no, they're not because they tear the one to give him 2 different kinds of magic. I think it's Mars. They give 2 different kinds of. I'm not sure.
It might just come down to It's magic. Maybe they use someone else's magic, like a stitching magic.
Maybe. I know it'll disintegrate if the owner dies.
But can you get rid of it before you get rid of, as you mentioned, like Zatch Bell? You get rid of the book, you get rid of the abilities.
I'm gonna have to do a little research into that and find out.
So I'll drop that down just a hair, just because they just wrote it off as magic. So let's say I'll also give this a 7 for understandability. Destructive potential: 90% of the continent can't become magic knights, and only like very little can form pacts with devils and inside their books, and also become time wizards.
Have grimoires the size of buildings.
So destructive potential, not really that high. It seems like I'd still probably give it like a 7 because there's only a few individuals, but they can be destructive. And it seems like most people who are born with power don't train all that often to make them stronger.
Yeah, true.
Cool factor, I also say 9 because books
Because
books are cool.
You and I took the different approach because I love that it's a book. It's so cool. And Honey was like, "Ooh, books."
I like that they're books and that
I think it's dope.
it's a good spellcasting medium most wizards
Mhm.
use, and then they even gave the non-wizard guy a book.
Yeah, true. I also really like that it changes size depending on your the amount of spells you have.
Mm-hmm. As from
I
pages.
think that's really cool.
Another cool thing I thought of is would have been cooler if they gave Asta, instead of book, gave Asta TV opposite of book.
That'd be funny. He carries around like a mini DVD player.
It's like a VHS player TV combo.
That's funny.
He has to put in a tape in it,
His grimoire is the tape.
or it's a cassette deck maybe.
Oh,
Something
that'd be cool.
something opposite of book.
Pushes a button, the sword pops out.
Bling.
That's funny.
So
So 779,
23.
right?
Yep,
Yeah,
23
still
total.
pretty good. I'm good with that. And without further ado, that leaves Mondi.
Yes. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get the elephant out of the room with mine.
Hockey or devil fruit?
My first one is the devil fruits. Because, as you've all heard from the things, I've been binge watching One Piece. So, as if you don't know, the devil fruits are these mystical fruits that magically spawn somewhere in the world, and you eat one, you lose the ability to swim. However, you gain whatever fruit power, which is Logia, Paramecia, and Zoan type devil fruits. Each of these,
Are the Zoans mythical ones?
there are
No.
mythical Zoans,
Okay,
like
I think so. That's what I'm looking at.
Kaido's dragon, and I believe Marco's phoenix is a mystical Zoan.
Technically, Chopper's human too.
Yeah, in these devil fruits, the more you use the power and the more you get used to it, you can awaken different awaken stages, which is like Luffy's Gear 5, and then in these recent chapters slash bits and pieces of One Piece I've been seeing ahead of it, Lucci's cat form and Usopp's stand-in's giraffe form. Kakazu?
Kakazu, I think. You could have also picked Kid and Law, or yeah, Law and Kid. They also have theirs awakened.
Did they awaken theirs?
Oh yeah, you're not that far yet.
Oh.
Spoilers for
shit.
Mondi.
Dang.
Well, now I'm
Because
gonna have to
everybody else is
watch for
caught up.
that. Look, I'm on episode 1005. I'm in the Kaido fight.
You shouldn't even know
How
about
many
awakening
episodes they
yet.
have right now?
I think 1100 and some.
Hurry up.
But anyway, yeah, these powers can range from like anything, like from transformations to like you're not injured. Take Blackbeard's power, for instance. He pretty much like he's a Logia, but his body gets hurt more from pain. But he has the ability to like take the devil fruit power away from any other devil fruit user. So he can pretty much just null and void your power system. And as long as you don't want to become a pirate and you want to stay on dry land, you don't got to worry about drowning. So yeah, I think these are pretty good.
Okay, so I guess you do know about Devil Fruit Awakenings because Doflamingo was the first one to have his Devil Fruit awakened in the show.
Oh yeah, because the string buildings.
So I think you want to go first, right, Silver?
I can.
Mage sounds like he's about ready to go nuts on me.
No, not at all.
So understandability, it's fairly simple about what devil fruits do. They take away your ability to swim somehow because they make the sea hate you, if I remember right. And then they give you abilities.
Hold on. Sorry. Pause. Is that the reason?
That is one of the
It
reasons.
makes the sea hate you?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god, I hate this show.
You haven't even watched it.
Did you explain
I-
what each type of the
Zoan,
three types?
Zoan devil fruits are transformation based, and Paramecia is it affects your body to a point, like Luffy's Gum Gum powers, and Logia powers move your body like physically, like Ace's flame fruit. He's pretty much just a walking torch, but he could still hold his human form, but like bullets and swords couldn't affect him. They'd go right through him.
So elements.
Yeah, pretty much. Because
Elemental based, miscellaneous based, and transformation based.
the two Logias I can think of are three are Blackbeard's darkness fruit, the snow fruit, and the flame fruit.
Okay, so those are pretty simple the categories, and each one awakens to make them stronger eventually, unless you get dead. Then when they
motorcycle
yeah,
fruit.
Are you looking up devil fruits?
since I know a little more, when to help you when someone dies with the devil fruit, and not by Blackbeard,
And not by Blackbeard.
the devil fruits magically appear back in fruit form that you got to eat again, and they choose the nearest fruit available.
Like on Punk Hazard when Slimy was destroyed and then its devil fruit reappeared in the middle of the toxic fog.
So you can kind of track down whichever power you want if you can kill them with a fruit close enough.
But yeah, then it creates the issue of like, if it's worth having, how easy is the person to kill?
Well, if you're Blackbeard, you just sneak up on your own crewmate and give him a little stabby stab.
True. And there's another thing. How do inanimate objects get devil fruits? Because wasn't there a sword that ate the horse fruit or the mythical zone Pegasus fruit?
Yes, and there was also there was also a wasn't
The
it a
cannon?
gun? Yeah, the gun that ate the like dog fruit or something.
Yeah, and it just
Because that was from
turned into a
Alabasta.
dog gun. Yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck is this show, dude?
yeah, that's right. Because Ennie's lobby, his sword was the horse.
So inanimate objects can in fact somehow eat devil fruits. So
Yes,
understandability, I'm just gonna have to go with an even 5.
and if
Just
you try to eat more than one devil fruit, you die. Supposedly.
supposedly. No one's tried.
No one's tried. Fucking
Yeah, no
what?
one's
They've
tried.
shown. Devil fruits can also be made artificially.
The Smile Factory, yes.
I'm still very much stuck on the horse that is a
No, it's a
sword.
sword that is a
Sword, that's a
horse.
horse.
It was a sword first.
Or is it an elephant?
I'd say destructive potential on my ranking, knowing all this stuff, it's going to be a 7 because the simplest thing you can do is just push any devil fruit user into the sea.
Into pretty much any body of
Amen.
water.
Any salt water, isn't it?
Into a puddle.
Yeah, I think it's any salt water.
I thought it was any water. Because
How do they take
when
baths?
they just suck it up.
They lose all their energy then.
That's why in Wano, when Robin goes into the bathhouse, she's only soaking her feet because she says it makes her feel it doesn't drain her as much as if she were to submerge her whole body. For
What's Robin's fruit?
Flower no Mi. For any major One Piece questions, please go see Tekken 101. He has some very educational One Piece dialogue.
Eventually, we will get the whole Isekai D&D crew named. We have 2.
Who was the other one?
Schwabity?
Who is a rapper?
When did we name Schwabity?
No, we
named
already named
Daniel
Daniel
Green.
Green. Oh, I thought you were
okay,
asking
yeah.
who are the 2 we haven't named yet.
Well, now we name Swabity.
Oh,
yeah.
God damn it.
If you want to find Swabity, look up Swabity and Rustage and Rustage's.
And if you're looking for a really nice energy drink alternative, use code Briggs at checkout for G Fuel.
Now we got all 4.
There we go.
It didn't come out naturally. But
All right, anyway.
Anyways.
Continue, Silver.
I'm going to say cool factor on devil fruits is probably also going to be a 7. It's higher than normal because I also can't swim in general. So that last part, I'll die if I'm thrown in the sea as well.
Give me a cool fruit, man.
The fruits have cool designs on them. They taste terrible though, from what I've seen.
Yes.
So 19. So it'll be a total of 19.
I
Also,
didn't even
it's
hear you.
whoever eats the fruit first as well. So if you take a bite and I take a bite, you get the power.
I didn't even hear what you rated for destruction.
Destruction's a 7.
So
because you
7
can
across the board?
No, 5 understandability, 7 destruction,
Oh.
7 cool.
You did them in different order.
Yeah.
I did them in a normal order. You just don't listen.
I was too busy trying to figure out what was going on with the sword horse.
It's an elephant,
That's what
I think.
I thought.
I think I found it.
What's his name?
Yeah. Funkfried?
Yep, that's it.
There you go, dear listeners. Now you
Spandam
now
sword.
you know the sword that is a horse. The sword that is an
I
elephant.
don't. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I don't know what this show is.
Their ideas at a board.
Understandability. I'm gonna go with a 5 as well, just because I don't like. I've seen the show. Actually, I'll even be nicer. I'll give it a 6 because it seems pretty simplistic, but then they also add all the little rules to it. I'll give it a 7 actually, because it does seem like a very simplistic system. I think when you start adding hockey is when it gets really fucking complicated. From everything I've seen, at least of One Piece.
Fun fact.
Destructive potential. Isn't Luffy like, isn't he a sun god or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Yeah, like spoilers. Sorry for everybody. It seems very destructive potentially.
It turns the world into cartoons.
Yeah, it makes it Looney Tunes, like legitimately. So I guess probably a 9 for that. Cool factor, it gets a 2 because it's the lamest shit I've ever seen.
2. Lowest score today.
Okay, that's very harsh. 5. We'll do a 5. It's very middle of the road. And it loses points 100% because it's at episode 1100 and whatever. If they'd have capped it, you know just as well as I do, if they'd have capped this show at like 7 seasons,
but they're
solid.
looking for the One Piece.
Oh my gosh.
So what's that bring my?
So
21.
Yeah, 21. I just want to point out I was much nicer than I thought I was going to be.
Okay, my next one is I'm next, right? Yeah.
Round 2. Fight.
First pick for round 2. I choose you. Hunter x Hunter. The power of Nin.
Oh.
Nin.
You know, when I knew the first 2, when it was MHA and Black Clover, I was like, man, I'm going to know all the ones in this episode. That's out the window.
So Nin is both complicated and uncomplicated at the same time. Let me go get my notes. So Nin is aura. It's your life energy. The ability to use Nin is called, or the people who have the ability to use Nin are called Nin users. The people who cannot use Nin are just simply called non-users.
Fucking dorks.
And so Nin is like everybody's inner aura. There's Nin nodes inside you that you can open, kind of like chakra points, because Nin is kind of the precursor to chakra in Naruto. So there's a lot of similarities. So everybody's nin is constantly leaking out of their body. Their aura is, and it kind of looks like a bit of steam coming up out of your head because it always flows up. You can gain the ability. Not everybody can use nin, and nin is kept secret through most of society. But the stronger people can use nin. They can use their aura, and they can use it to coat their eyes and see other people's aura. They can use it to go around their body, kind of like a shield that also keeps their aura in. And keeping the aura in is called tin, and then which is envelop or shroud. And doing this can also make your life longer. You can live longer, keep more youthful, because you're actually storing your life energy inside you, not letting it escape out. Then there's three other main tenets of Nin, which is Zetsu, which is able to suppress your Nin and pretty much just like closing all the valves, which makes you harder to see. Also, closing down using Zetsu can also help internally heal you from fatigue. Then there's Rin, which is refine and enhance, which is pretty much kind of like 10, but it is the opposite. So instead of keeping the nin around you, you explosively put it out. And if you add malice to it, this is what people call bloodlust. And then the last one is Hatsu, which is one's personal expression of nin, which is where we see the show's protagonist and everything using his abilities. And everybody's nin ability or Hatsu is different because all these are based on everybody's nin ability is based on their own types of nin they have. Nin is just linked to one's emotions and mental state. So some examples of nin, the go gon, he is there is 6 categories of the Hatsu. Nin is broken down into 6 types of aura. So the 6 types you could be is a enhancer, which strengthens objects or themselves. You can be a transmuter, which you pretty much just change the quality of an item to match something else. Conjuration, you can create objects from your aura. Manipulation, like kind of manipulating people, manipulating dead bodies, objects. Then emission, which you can kind of throw your aura at people, kind of like a Kai blast. And then the last one is specialization, which is unique effects, aka miscellaneous. And anybody can use any of these besides specialization. The further you get away from your main one, the less proficient you are with. Then you can also mix and match them to make different techniques. And the way to figure out what type you're best at is water divination. So you pretty much fill a glass with water, put a leaf on it. If the volume of the water changes, you're an enhancer. If the taste of the water changes, you're a transmuter. If the color of the water changes, then you're an emitter. If impurities appear in the water, you're a conjurer. If the leaf moves on the surface of the water, you're a manipulator. If a completely different change appears, like the leaf bursts into flames, you're an emitter or you're a specialist.
Didn't someone do that? Is that why you brought that up?
The flames, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I never watched Hunter x
I
Hunter.
remember it being really good. I just don't like double watching things, so I haven't seen it since.
Would you like to start, Mondi? We'll keep the same order.
Oh, but I didn't. Some examples of the
Oh.
powers. Gon has rock, paper, scissors, which is Rashompo.
Mm-hmm.
And he can, if he uses rock, it's like a big fist comes out, launches at you, which is a mix of enhancing and uh, emitting.
Emitting,
Yes.
probably.
Then he has an ability, I believe, scissors cuts anything, and paper blocks anything,
That would make
if I
sense.
remember right. But
Paper
then,
cover
like
scissors.
Killua, who can create lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also set special abilities, special conditions for your nin, like Kurapika or Kurapika. He has a chain that he uses for his nin that he set the condition that he can only use it on the Phantom Troop, which is this world's Akatsuki. If he uses it on anybody else, he dies.
Hmm.
And this pretty much sets up that it makes, since he has this special condition that he dies if he uses it on anybody but these special 8 people, it makes it extremely strong against these 8 people.
That's fair.
Then there's another guy who's just if I touch you, my ability happens, which is not, a little bit stronger, but not as
So
strong.
if all these 8 people die, does that mean he can no longer use his power?
Pretty much, but it's not his main power. He's got other powers. This is just
Just the
a
chain.
different application of the power. Yeah.
All right, Mondi, rip him a new one.
All right, we're gonna start with the easy one, understandability. I'm gonna give it a 5 because that's a lot of stuff to try to understand and like try to make sense out of. However, coolness, I mean, I feel like that's pretty cool the way you can test things and like the different. Everybody has different things. Like the kilowatt is pretty much just an assassin with lightning, and Gon can do random shit with rock paper scissors. Like, could you imagine playing him in a rock paper scissors tournament and he just uses rock and sends you
You
flying
just
backwards?
die.
Like, it's like.
Yeah. Then there's Hisoka, who has bubblegum, which has the properties of both both bubblegum and rubber.
Oh, the clown looking
Yeah.
guy.
He's basically
I seen him in
Spider-Man.
the dodgeball meme
Yeah.
things. Where was I? Cool.
Yeah.
What rating did you give for
Yeah,
destructive?
coolness.
He didn't do that one yet.
Oh, I
Oh,
skipped
okay, cool.
destructive right now. I went to the ones I was
Yeah,
like
fair.
certain of. Coolness, I'm gonna give it a 7. No, an 8. I'll give it 8 because I have seen the clip where Gon goes to like his future self, but now that
Yeah, he going to his future self was a condition he set of getting more power, but giving up the ability to use Nin, pretty much.
So it was like his final bout.
Yeah.
that's why it turned into the black husk looking thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that destruction. I mean, I don't feel like I don't know if you could destroy the planet per se, but I have seen some of them where they looked pretty sketchy, like the insect one and the cheetah person that was all like, "Yeah, this is my world. You can't leave until you catch me." Ha ha. With the weird smoke pipe guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's different versions of destruction that was trying to destroy the mind. So I'll give destruction like a 7.
Also, fun fact about the world of Hunter x Hunter: the entire series they figure out takes place on an island at the end, and because they start to sail across the ocean, and the ocean they have is actually a lake for the world. Since you guys probably won't watch all the way to the end.
You got me.
I mean, once I finish One Piece, the world is my oyster.
No, it fucking is not.
Hunter x Hunter is from 2004, so they got everything dubbed.
Once you finish DBZ Abridged, then the world is your oyster.
This feeling of proud must be too bad it's overshadowed by this unyielding rage.
He's the way they do him is my favorite. He's my favorite character in the whole show. It's so funny.
Kaka carrot cake?
In the Broly movie, they're trying to get him to stop saying Kakarot. He goes, "No, I will address him by the name given to him by his glorious Saiyan ancestors. Kakarot, Kakarot, Kakarot!" He's just shouting Kakarot in Broly's face. All right. Yeah, so Nen.
Mondi's total was 20.
Yes. For Nen. I will start with understandability. I'm gonna do a 6. So it seems like one of those systems that's like really easy to understand at first, but then people will just become really powerful with it. So it just becomes really powerful. So then it becomes harder to understand. It still has like the basic principles, but once you start getting past that, I think a 6 is a solid number for that. Destructive potential, like Monty said, creating a universe and just keeping you in there is fucking crazy. So I'll say probably an 8. Because I don't think no one's destroying planets or anything, but the ability to kill multiple people and probably blow up a good amount of area is pretty powerful.
What was the first one? Understandability?
Oh, sorry, 6. And then cool factor, I'm actually going to say a 9. One of my favorite characters in DBZ, or not DBZ, in Naruto is Rock Lee when he goes into the 8 gates. And I feel like this is similar to that. So, yeah, 23.
Okay. And just one of my other favorite abilities is there's a guy named Leroy.
Leroy Jenkins.
I was just about to say that.
Leoria.
Leoria.
Yeah, Leoria. Yeah. He becomes a hunter because he wants to use to make money to become a doctor.
Mhm.
He gets Nin, and his first time really showing it, he punches Gon's dad in the face.
It fucking kills him.
No, but he does it from 50 feet away.
Very cool.
He punches he wraps his fist up, he punches the air, and his fist teleports into the desk. He pretty much teleports his body parts.
That's fucking sick. I'm gonna teleport my hand inside your body and pull your heart out. How?
I mean, if he wasn't a doctor, maybe that would
Well,
work.
also if he's a doctor, like,
Or maybe it does.
hey doctor, I have a bullet lodged in my shoulder. Oh, did you? No, you don't.
Now it makes sense why it works. Oh, open heart surgery, but you can't actually be open.
Yeah, I can do open heart surgery from here. Very cool. Yeah, I like it. Okay. So I'm also gonna pick one that is a little more complicated. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we'll try it. I'm gonna go with pyrokinetics, which is the power system used in Fire Force.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Fire Force is a show that I recently started watching. I'm halfway through the second season. It's very good. It's a very good show. The way the powers work, obviously with the name Fire Force, there is a new phenomenon happening in the world called it's combustion, where people are just randomly bursting into flames and turning into like infernal demons. So essentially, they're being engulfed in flame. They're in a lot of pain. Their soul's about to be sent to the afterlife. What are you doing? Their soul is being burned, so they have to be saved in order to be sent to the afterlife, which is where the Fire Force comes in, where pyrokinetics comes in. So individuals who burst into flames are known as first generations. So once they become this way, hasn't been shown a way for them to turn back yet. So once they're a person like this, they're going to die. Like they're killed by the Fire Force. I think it's their children. The generation following that first generation is known as the second generation. Second generation pyrokinetics are true pyrokinetics. They can control fire. So that can be through manipulation of it, through growing fire, suppressing it, moving it. It manifests in a bunch of different ways. There's a character who is able to, he carries like guns, like just like a bunch of different guns. He controls the explosions of the bullets to either increase the power or decrease the power from the like bullet because of the explosion in it. There's one character who creates sentient like fireballs, and she controls them and uses them to like move different pieces of equipment for her. There's a man who can absorb explosions and then generate them out at a faster rate. So essentially, he becomes like he can take in the energy and then just expel it. What's up?
So he's a living Uno reverse card for explosions.
He is legitimately a living Uno reverse card. Yeah.
Mint.
Then, so that's the second generation there. Like I said, true pyrokinetics. Then, depending on which generation you are, your powers change. So when you go to third generation, you become both a pyrokinetic and a pyro emitter. So you can control fire and you can also create flames. Yeah, so the main character in the show is a third generation. He has the ability to create and control flames. So with his spawn out of his feet, but third generation, yeah, spoiler alert, you're fine. Third generation pyrokinetics are able to, a lot of the times will have links to what's called a dola, which is it's hell, which is where the true like power of fire comes from. So if the closer you have a link to a dola, the more your power, the stronger your flame power is. So as the generations increase, the more powers you get to be able, like you have to use in reference to fire. There's a character who is also a third generation who can slow down. This is fucking crazy. He can slow down the heat in the universe, like in the world around him, to slow down time. So because of that, he can slow down or speed up time just by cooling or heating up the air around him through the use of fire.
That's hot.
It is very hot. It's very cool. And then the main character he emits flames from his feet and uses them to run really fast or create big explosions.
You know who else can do that?
Who else can do that?
Sanji from One Piece. You should watch it.
Do you know how many episodes there are of Fire Force? Under 1/10 of what One Piece is. I'll make you a deal. If you watch DBZ Abridged fully through, I'll watch One Piece. I'll make that deal live on the podcast right now.
He's a sucker. I was going to watch it anyway. Got him.
Got him. Yeah, that is Fire Force.
Silver, I believe you're the one the first round attack.
Tear me apart, Silver.
What was that, Mondi?
Silver, I do believe it is your turn to go first on the bout on what he has spoken of.
So pyrokinetics, it's fairly simple. You're born with the ability to fight fire with fire or control fire with fire.
Yeah.
But you're also born one step closer to hell the more generations you're born. And each generation just keeps getting stronger. Is there only 3 generations?
At this time, yeah. Well, I'm only halfway through the second season. There might be, but to my knowledge, there's only 2. Or sorry, there's only the 3.
And
Is the 4th generation Soul Eater?
I think
Soul Eater
I've
is
seen a lot of
canonically
speculation videos about it.
The author confirmed that it's canonically connected.
Okay, so yeah, 4th generation is supposed to be Soul Eater.
When I see
That anime I have seen.
It's been a minute since I've watched Soul Eater. I watched that when I was young.
Canonically, you are still young. Your birthday isn't until like 2 weeks.
All right.
As recording to this.
Understandability, fairly simple from what I understand. Understandability, I'm gonna go with the standard. Let's go 8 because it's fairly simple to understand. Generations get power. Power is fire. Fire is hell. That's how they get their powers. Destructive potential. It's not planetary destruction, but universal time slowing down is kind of strong. I mean, fire is pretty much the destructive power. I'd have to give it a 8 as well. And cool factor, let's go 8 all the way across the board because fire is cool and the way they use their fire is cool. Because I have seen some episodes like the guy that uses brooms.
Oh yeah. He goes by Ben. It's like Benny or something like that. But yeah, he's a 3rd generation too. Because he sets fire to the brooms and then he can control them through the fire. So
He makes like missiles out of
yeah, it's so dope.
I'll give it an 8 just for Benny because I like
Just
his
for Benny.
use of it. Yeah. But there's a lot of red in the show, so that's why it loses 2 points.
The main characters have blue uniforms.
But all the fire's red.
Yeah. Benny Maru. That's what I was thinking of. That's his name.
Benny Maru is also a fire user in my next one. Okay, Mondi.
So 24.
Okay. So, understandability.
Oh, I missed an opportunity.
What opportunity did you miss?
I should have rated it all 6s because it's a hell power.
Well, I can cover
Don't
that
you
for
fucking dare. You know you don't want to do that.
No, you know I can't do that because I am I can say it. I don't care. As you know, I'm a firefighter, so I think for cool ratings, fighting fire with fires like pretty interesting. You don't see any hose lines.
Oh, Silver,
So-
I should have talked about Arthur. Sorry, Mondi. Arthur's a character that you would like. He has a plasma cutter. His weapon is literally a sword that he calls Excalibur. He channels his fire through it and it becomes a plasma sword. And they talk about how plasma is stronger than fire in this show. He uses a plasma torch. Anyway, go ahead, Mondi.
We're gonna start with the easy one first. I'm gonna give it a 9 for coolness because fire is cool. Technically, it's hot.
Shut up.
And
Mr. Todoroki.
Todoroki's got that icy hotness.
Well, he also has his Prometheum flame.
What's the?
Never mind. Spoilers. Go ahead.
You said it. That was like. Normally, spoilers are like, oh, it's the new season of the anime. That's like the latest couple chapters of the manga.
That's the latest episode of the anime.
Is it?
Latest. That's like 3 episodes
Okay,
ago.
fair. Anyway.
TikTok has not
People listen to
informed
this
me of
now. It'd be
this.
like 6 weeks in advance. So
They're gonna catch Mondi's stupidity of wait, what?
You'll see it by then, I'm sure.
Hopefully it'll be on TikTok. Okay, so
TikTok, Mondi's source of anime news besides One Piece.
And us.
yeah, pretty much. Understandability. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward with the generation. Oh, you're just gen? You're doing this. You're this gen? You're doing this. You're 3rd gen? Get fucked. You get both jobs.
Yeah, literally. There's a lot of cool interactions between like, because you know what generations have what like baseline power, figuring out what generation each person is based on their ability. So I think that's a really cool part of it.
So I'll give it a 9 on understandability. Boop. And then destruction, I mean it's fire. There's fire, plasma cutters, Apparently there's prayer. I've seen a
Yeah.
fiery prayer person.
Yeah, there's the sister who does a prayer before every time they they extinguish one of the people.
I've seen a couple episodes of this, and I don't know if I was watching the right episodes, but I feel like this sister loses her clothes just as fast as Gray from Fairy Tale.
The sister doesn't. There's another character that does.
The cat girl, fire
Yeah,
cat girl.
Fire Cat Girl.
Okay,
Toma?
that must be who I was.
I don't think
thinking
it's
of.
Bulma.
No, Toma.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, is this where our team name is that we were talking about earlier, or was that Toka? I think that was.
We're
Toka.
talking about Toka.
Dramatic pause while we look up to confirm this stuff.
Tamaki, that's her name.
And I mean destructiveness. I mean fire can still. We'll go 9.
Okay.
So 9's across the board.
20.
And if you turn those upside down,
Silver caught on already.
we get Mage's real score, 6s.
I already wrote down 27. So ain't that a bitch?
But it's not. But it's not 27.5. Isn't that our highest score right now? What's our highest recorded score?
I think it's that.
Highest recorded score is 28.5.
I'm not good at math.
I got my spreadsheet up with all of our stuff.
Spreadsheets.
That brings us back to Mondi.
All right, I'm going to bring back an oldie but goodie anime as well. This is also from the year of 19s.
Oh, Jesus.
It is Spirit Energy.
Oh, of course.
From Yu Yu Hakusho. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. You're alive, you have a spirit, you have spirit energy. Some people are more connected to it than others, and some people use magical items to help increase their spirit energy. And then there's some people that have learned to tame their spirit energy to turn it into a weapon, as in like a gun or a sword or some flying magical wind things.
Or roses and thorns.
Or black flame dragons. Not Amaterasu. Amaterasu does not support this message. But yeah.
What's your most destructive spirit energy related attack you can think
The
of?
most destructive spirit energy attack I can remember is the spirit gun Urameshi fired when he was post-demon transformation, when his father took over his body and almost killed the indestructible... it wasn't Tagora. It was Shisui? Shizi?
I do
Starts
not
with an S.
remember.
I'm going all off memory because I don't use Google to look up my information very often. But it was like the final guy before he went into the demon plane. He was like super strong, and he was a former spirit detective that had 7 personalities inside his head. He was trying to open the gate to the demon world to let the demons in, and he was going to go to the demon world, which he wound up making it there. But then Yusuke's demon ancestor took over Yusuke's body and just eradicated him just mercilessly with the spirit energy.
The Power Sphere
And then Yusuke
fusion
took back
attack.
over and was like, sure.
I looked up a list of the strongest attacks in Yu Yu Hakusho.
I didn't. Well, I guess it's that old. There's probably somebody out there that made a list.
Oh, for sure.
Is that the attack used by King Yemma?
I'm not seeing that one, I don't think.
Can spirit energy hurt normal people?
Yes, it can affect
Okay.
them.
Is it Sensui? Is that his name?
Sensui.
Yeah.
Since we on the topic, let's get the rating.
Jesus.
Wow.
Did you want to go first or want me to go first? Sober?
You can go first.
Okay. We're doing a lot of pandering this episode, and I stand by this will be the highest scores we've had so far. Understandability, it's a 9. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like you said, you got a soul, you got power. It's more like, I think as the show goes on, it becomes more like willpower. It seems like at least it's like the strength of said spirit, the strength of your will. But again, very self-explanatory. So I'll give that one a 9. Destructive potential. I was looking through this list and I forgot that what is his name? I forgot how strong Hiei was with the Sword of Blackness Flame. Kuwabara having a dimension sword.
Yeah, that's why they kidnapped him, to cut the net between demon and human.
Yeah, is crazy. That's pretty strong. So I'm gonna do an 8 for that. Cool factor, I'm gonna say an 8 as well. I think they were cooler when I was 6. when I watch the show. But they're still very cool. Like a lot of the abilities are very dope. But yeah, so 25. Very cool show.
Okay. I'm not going to tear this one apart or anything like that. It's pretty understandable. He said understandability, 9. Destructive potential, I don't think it's that high. I mean, yes, there's certain few individuals that are super strong, like most things. So I'm going to still give it a 7. Cool factor is also going to be a 7.
Does it help that there's hardly any red in this anime
a
besides the
lot of
blood?
green. There's a lot of green in this anime.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bump it up to an 8.
We love pandering. We love pandering for a 24.
And we're back after some technical difficulties as Mondi dropped his mic and it rolled across the ground, making our audio session cancel.
Round 3.
As Mage specified earlier, it is a snowball. It wanted to become a snowman.
Jesus Christ. We're now on to the final round.
My final round is also going to be an anime again. I'm having 3 animes this one.
We're very predictable.
Yes.
Have you guys ever heard of Magicules?
No.
Is that what Goku's made out of?
No. Magicules are the kind of what powers most spells and stuff. In that time, I got reincarnated as a slime.
Of course it fucking is.
Oh, that anime.
Yay, learning.
So Magicules, pretty much in that time, I got reincarnated as a slime. Is the basics of everything. Magicules are pretty much atoms. They make up everything. So monsters' bodies are like 90% Magicules. And even people can use Magicules to actually do magic and spells. And sometimes skills consume Magicules. There's pretty much 2 types of Magicule use, and that is things that change the laws of the world and physical changes. So, in order for most people to use Magicules for spells and such, they have to be able to physically or mentally visualize the spell, what they want to do, and have good control over it. It's pretty much the process of picturing it and just making it real. And then it is the spells and magic is pretty much using these Magicules as a power source is split into like 6 different types, which is elemental, which is pretty much what it sounds like: element base, fire, water, earth, sound. Then there's spirit related, which relies on contracts with spirits. And if you make a contract with the spirit then handles all the spell related stuff, and you pretty much just can cast the stuff. The downside is you can only cast what the spirit can cast. Then there's summoning, which is pretty much bringing. You can use Magicules to summon things like fairies, spirits, uh, demons, and other worlders. So you can bring other people from different worlds to your world. And usually a contract is formed. Sometimes, usually that's with demons, though. Then there's holy magic, which is, as it sounds like, a pact with a god or somebody you worship, and you borrow their power, kind of like a cleric in D&D. Then there's a couple that haven't really been touched on yet, and that is illusion magic and nuclear magic. Those are the types, and pretty much anybody in the world of slime isekai can use magic. It is harder for humans to use magic because they really don't have the capacity to store magicules inside their body like monsters do and demi-humans.
Mhm.
And you can, but they can cast spells by uh, manipulating magicules that are outside their body, just like magicules in the air. But if there's too many magicules in the air, it's actually dangerous for people and monsters. It can lead to magicule poisoning, and people could die from that.
Hmm.
You can actually build up your tolerance to magicules in order to withstand stronger quantities of it.
Basically like training.
Yep, pretty much. And like Veldor Tempest, the Storm Dragon, every monster emits magicules from their body as well, and then which makes more magicules. And then if there's a high density of magicules, more monsters are born from it. Like the Storm Dragon emits a lot, which then creates stronger monsters. And the lower the magicules, the less likely monsters are to appear. Yeah, then at some point, if your concentration of magicules become high enough, you have enough training and knowledge of certain abilities, you can gain skills by trading in magicules for skills. And then those skills pretty much just become automatic and you don't have to do the visualization concept anymore.
Very cool.
It's pretty much the basics of everything magic and life in Slime Isekai. Because then magicules can also make magicules steel by storing like ores in high magicule areas and magical herbs by being in high magical areas.
A bunch of magicules in one area, you're either going to spawn a lot of strong monsters or have a nuclear bomb.
Yes.
One of the two.
Or both.
Yeah, we're both. Mondi, I believe you have the floor.
No, I have a chair.
The snowball had the floor.
Yeah. For our blind viewers, Mage just gave me the most obnoxious or most disappointing look.
There, he grabbed his mic.
Yeah, I was looking at your volume. It was like, ugh.
I'm better. The mic is now Alistair style.
There we go.
So yeah, understandability. It kind of simple. You have a lot of something. It's good and bad, and if you have a little of something, you're just fucked. So understandability, I'm gonna give it a 9. Destruction, I'm
It's
gonna
just
go with
basically depends on the spells because like Veldora Tempest, the Storm Dragon, has been known to wipe out continents, and he's pretty much made of magicules. So the magicules all are the monsters, and most demon lords are and most beings made up of magicules are initially stronger than all the humans.
We're gonna give that we're gonna give it an 8 because magicules buildups will destroy things. Coolness wise, we'll go with a 7 just because it sounds like the Demon Lord is like the top magicule user, and then humans are just gonna die if they get in contact with too many of them. If I'm understanding this right.
Yes, but the stronger monsters that have intelligence can actually restrict the amount of magicules from leaving their body.
Okay.
Like Veldora got released and hid all his magicules inside his body, so he didn't scare everybody and or kill them. And spoilers for the latest episode, the dungeon making, Veldora becomes the 100th floor boss, where he can finally release his magicules after holding them in pretty much the entire series. And it was like an explosion in the dungeon, and now they're using Veldora's magicules to make this dungeon for the town to thrive and use as a tourist attraction because all the monsters are spawning from Veldora's magicules he's putting off.
They're gonna make the dungeon great again.
It was never again to begin with. It was new.
Oh, well, I thought he went up to the 100th floor and just blew it up then.
Down to the 100th floor. It's under a coliseum.
Who goes under for a floor? You go up. So he was negative 100. So that's 9, 8, 7. If we get a fourth category, we might
24.
make it the. Yes. All right,
24.
Mage. Let's see what you have to say.
Understandability, 7. It seems pretty easy. I feel like because I've seen memes of the show and I've seen a little bit of what the show's about, I feel like it's one of those where like it's easy, but also it's not. Like it's super easy until it's not, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. They made it. They've
And there's naming, and then there's
yeah.
magic tools are used for everything, pretty much.
Yes. Yeah. So the 7, it's easy, but it gets hard as the show goes on. Destructive potential. I just watched a video of a guy just mercilessly kill a dragon. Like trapped it in a cage, used magic to disintegrate it. Crazy, very crazy. So destructive, I'm gonna say 9. Cool factor, it's a really cool concept. I like it. So I'm gonna say 8. I think also that's also a 24.
I don't know if this will help any, but since Rimuru is a demon lord and he has the subjects under him, and well, since he named them and gave his magic cubes to the ones that he named in order for them to gain power, when he became a demon lord and ascended stronger, it actually made everybody he named stronger as well through the connections of the magic cube system. Through
Take your 25, you fucking panderer.
yes, which one did you increase?
Cool factor.
Yes.
Okay then. Round 3, stage 2, Mage.
All right. So, we've been talking a lot about anime today, and that's super cool. I am no longer going to talk about anime.
Brrr. Okay.
I am picking something that I think is kind of underrated. I actually didn't even have it on my list until about 2 minutes ago, which is why I was doing research while you were talking, Mondi, and I'm very sorry about that.
That's why my score is so low.
No, I gave Silver a high score. I am going to be picking the Force from Star Wars. So let's talk about the Force. So the Force is a magical energy that, as it is said multiple times in Star Wars, is something that connects all beings. So the Force is something that it connects everybody. It's very similar to like life energy throughout the show. The Force is a life energy that individuals can train and can manipulate to give themselves different powers and abilities, um, both good and bad. The two biggest examples is obviously are the Jedi and the Sith. So the Jedi are the good representation of that, where their goal is to preserve life and to prosper and to grow and to help others to keep the Force in a positive state, to make sure that life is allowed to prosper and that people are allowed to grow, and um, it's not used for bad things. The Sith are the opposite of that, as you could guess. Their goal of the Force is to control it. It's to control people, to oppress, to um, use the Force in a way that fits them and fits their goals. So it generates a lot of different powers. So the main ability, like I said, is you can use it to move objects. So it gives you almost like a telekinesis kind of thing. You can use it to throw objects, throw people. You can use it to manipulate your own abilities. So force jump is one of the big things that they talk about. So you can jump different distances. It can be used to increase your strength. It can be used to generate lightning from your body. It's a physical manifestation of the Force. It can be used to heal individuals through the use of the Force. It can also be used through meditation to predict the future. It can be used to potentially save a life. Like I said, that healing factor of it to save a life. It can be used to stave off death through manipulation of the Force, which is a Sith meme. The reason that's a Sith thing and not a Jedi thing, even though it's preserving life, is because it messes with the length of life. So it's the idea that death and rebirth are this like cylindrical necessary thing. However, the Sith don't want to die because they want to hold all the power. So they say, "Okay, I'm gonna not die," and they use that power. If there's any other like really cool things they do in the show, I think that's really about it.
Mind control.
Oh
was gonna
yeah, the
say
Jedi mind trick meme that they all talk about. You can use it to control people's minds, control their thoughts. You can use it to read thoughts too. Is a really high Jedi ability. maybe that's Sith. I don't know. It's a really high ability you can use to read individuals' minds. You can use like what do they call it? Like force projection, where you can project a spirit of yourself. The one movie, I think it's the eighth movie. Luke does this. He projects himself like planets away. So he projects a version of himself to fight planets away, which is crazy. And then if you become one with the Force, then when you die, you are able to come back as a Force ghost, which actually allows you to project yourself into reality as you are in death to help pass along your wisdom.
Like Yoda?
Yeah, Yoda does that. Anakin,
Spoilers.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, spoilers. Luke, Han Solo does that, which is really cool. I don't know if he's technically a Force ghost, but comes back. But yeah, that is the Force. It's our first and probably only non-manga.
It is Silver's turn to attack first.
I shall go first. So, understandability. There's a lot of stuff with the Force, and the Force always confuses me. Because why is this Sith? Why is this Jedi? Why can't it be both gray?
there are a lot of gray. They call them gray Jedi, which are those individuals like that want to that have the same question you do of like, why can't I use both abilities?
It's
Why is
like
there a
this.
dichotomy?
Why is that stormtrooper just shooting at me? Why do I got him with a sword? Why can't I just zap him?
Why can't I just smack him really hard with my force and put him to sleep?
I mean, Darth Vader likes to choke people. Why can't I just knock him out that way? Everybody's just being
He
force choked.
does. The problem is Darth Vader is like, oh, I am very angry at the world and the galaxy, so I'm gonna fucking kill you instead of just knocking you out.
Darth Vader's
And
not angry. He just has a kink at choking people.
I I don't know if that's true.
that's why all the stormtroopers are white.
Jesus. Canceled.
So is
We're 6 episodes in and we got canceled.
Storm. So the Force is pretty much just psychokinesis, or It's psychic abilities.
It's manipulation of life force. But yeah.
7.
This was a gamble. I know that.
7 for understandability. Because
Okay.
all the movies I've seen, I still don't understand. I didn't. I know I should probably have to read the books or watch the anime. I've only seen some animated shows.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
didn't
mean,
know
you get a
Star
pretty
Wars
decent understanding of it from the movies. The problem is they don't really go in depth in explaining it.
Destructive potential is only pretty individual, unless he can.
There is a scene in so one of the strongest Force users is Starkiller from The Force Unleashed, where he moves a destroyer class Imperial ship, which is the size of like one of the pyramids, and he uses the Force to pull it out of the sky into the planet's atmosphere and crashes it into the ground.
I mean, it's still pretty individual. The
I'm just
force
saying.
itself ain't that destructive. Damaging objects with it, but it's for destruction. Because the force feels very personal. It's just, I wouldn't consider it like a mass weapon.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
never see Darth Vader choke out a whole squadron. It's only just usually one person.
No, he does that.
Does he? I don't remember.
I mean, Anakin had more kills with a lightsaber and a school full of younglings.
It's just all synchronized choking.
Synchronized choking.
I would just like to point back to the fact that the synchronized choking is probably more of a kink.
Darth Vader and orgy.
He didn't get those raspy lungs from the lava, I can tell you that. He sounded normal yelling at Obi-Wan.
I guess that's comic book based, though.
Ah.
All right, never mind.
Food factor though, 8, because everybody's tried to use the Force.
Mm-hmm. We've all been outside just looking at our friends. Just
the one day it's gonna work, everyone's gonna flip shit.
what the fuck?
for a total of 19 for
19.
Mage.
Wah wah.
Who knows? Monty might like it better.
Mondi has played some of the Star Wars games.
Hey.
So for usability, it's kind of complex to use because you have to train to figure out how to use it. And so for usability, I'm going to have to give it a 7. Yeah. You actually have to train to use it. You're not just like born with it.
Yeah. That's another thing too. Not everyone has access to it.
Destructive. I mean, Silver has a point with it being like kind of personal, but I mean, if you get good with it, you can like send massive amount of droids like push away with the force push and send them into lava, but that's a lava doing the killing.
You also can shoot lightning from your fingertips.
Yeah, and you can fry more than one person at a time. Because we all know the lightning's the best part of the force.
It's very cool.
I mean, even normal lightning from a cable can shock more than one person at the same time.
That is also true.
Yeah, when cables are this equivalent to a force. And the cables can also alter your memory.
You can
get
shoot
zapped by
10
one.
lightning bolts at one time.
For destructive, I'm going to also have to give it a 6. And then coolness, I mean, it's the force. We've all tried to do fun little force things. Like reading minds or like telling your mom, I didn't do it. It was my sister.
What? I never did that.
So I'm going to also give it an 8.
Okay.
What was understandability for the notes?
7, right?
7? Yeah.
21.
My destructive was 4.
Yes, your destructive was 4. All right. And with that, I believe we are on to the final leg. Mondi, what is your third and final power system?
My third and final power system is a curveball at a left field that even Silver didn't think of until I said it. It is the
boy.
power of love.
Fucking Sailor Moon.
No.
Nope.
That would
Oh,
have been a good one.
that is a good one.
Dragon Ball Z Super Universe 2.
I quit.
Because they use the power of love from their universe to transform into their pretty much Sailor Moon's costumes.
It is 100% a Sailor Moon ripoff.
But they do the one thing Sailor Moon didn't do. Have male sailors, because the other 3 people from the universe that were all male also transformed into the same exact costumes, skirts and all. And their destructiveness is pretty damn high considering the males used some weird attack that made a black heart appear and start crushing 18, 17, and Goku. It was so heavy, Goku couldn't use instant transmission to get away from it, and it was breaking through the arena that the Supreme
Kai.
Attendance.
Oh, it's Zeno's right-hand
Zeno.
angel. He put it together and he was like, yeah, this is made out of the strongest material. This should hold up nicely. And even the destroyers had problems breaking it, but yet when the tournament started, the arena crumbled like cookies. But yeah, this heart went all the way through the arena and like almost knocked him out if Goku hadn't went Super Saiyan Blue and blew it away. But the power of love was quite formidable. Like it was wiping people out.
The power of love was also cross-dimensional, wasn't it?
Yes, because they had the little sploot thingy.
Sploos from Monster Hours.
The fucking sploot thingy?
Yeah, it was the
It's a
little wand.
broadcast.
Yeah, they were showing their universe, and they were like, "Yeah, we need your help. Send it." And they were like, "We love you." And like all these little, it was pretty much a rave with
Yeah, they
glow
pretty much live
sticks.
streamed it.
I feel
Yeah.
like, yeah.
But yeah, the love power system.
The Dragon Ball Z love power system.
Yeah.
We gotta specify that. Oh,
It's
God.
I'll go first. I volunteer.
Yeah,
I volunteer.
fucking
Mage seems a little upsetty.
Understandability is gonna have to be a 4.
What?
It's so fucking complicated.
It's less that it's complicated. It's more that they don't explain it.
Yeah, huh? The God of Destruction explains it as it's the power of love.
That's not much of an explanation.
Also, never mind. I'll save that for mine. Sorry.
Why?
Okay.
They get the power of love to get power ups. Goku just gets the power of rage.
Actually, he
To get
says
power.
his power is fury.
Same thing.
Rage starts with an R. Fury is an F. Oh, I thought for sure I was gonna get Mage to do a spit take.
Close. Because I immediately
the
thought of
words
do you remember the Batman videos that we used to watch, the Batman ones? Where he's making fun of Superman and he's like, "What's that symbol even mean? It means hope. Hope starts with an H, stupid." Jesus. Anyway.
Sorry,
ahead, Silver.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, it's understandability. Not that great. Because I wish they would, how did they get their love to go cross dimensional? Is it just kind of like a cheering
They had their Bluetooth wands.
They had their
Bluetooth
Bluetooth wands.
Well, anyways, we'll just skip over that and go straight to destructive potential 9. If they can force those 3 and Goku, even though Super Saiyan Blue is Super Saiyan Blue, it's God level power. Then cool factor 3.
Ah, I'm
I
gonna
don't
lose
think it's
again.
that cool in DBZ. The Fury is much cooler and showier for a total of 16.
The lowest score tonight.
Dang.
It can be lower.
It will be. Don't worry.
Over to the last ranker, Mage.
Can I just spin the wheel already?
I will give you props for picking one that was very out of left field. I did not expect this to come whatsoever. When you said DBZ, I was like, oh, he's picking like Kai or like Key. I was like, oh, that's fine. No. Yeah. So understandability, I'm gonna say like a 5. Because they do explain it away as like, oh, it's just the power of love. But like they don't do anything further than that, like Silver said. But also, it's kind of an explanation, I guess. It's a very flimsy one. So actually, we'll say 6. We'll say 6. Explanation. Destruction 7, because it is like it's powerful, like it pushes them back, but also Goku then goes into Super Saiyan 2, which has been outclassed multiple times in this tournament and breaks through it. So it's like it's strong, but it's not like the strongest.
You mean Super Saiyan Blue?
Yeah, sorry, I said 2, didn't I?
Yeah.
Super Saiyan Blue. So it's strong, but it's not that strong. And then 5 for cool. It's fucking lame. It literally is in there to be a joke because it's the joke of like, oh, this universe uses the power of love, and it's like, oh yeah, cool. Now they're gonna get fucking eliminated.
I don't think they were the first universe eliminated, but they might have been. I can't
They were
remember.
close. I liked actually that the universe had
A
what is the
Yardrak?
race called? The race that uses instant transmission.
Yeah, the Yardrak.
Yardrats. I like that they had one of them. That was really cool.
10. That's
So
17.
I give you an 18,
Oh yeah, there's a 6. Yeah, it's 18.
Oh, wait. Okay,
which is
what
much
was
higher than I
understandability?
expected.
What was understandability?
Oh, sorry, 6. So it was 6,
And
7, 5.
okay, and starting new this episode, Silver has actually been keeping track of everybody's scores.
Yay!
So our lowest scoring universe power system, which we just did, is the power of love from Dragon Ball Z Super
Dang. Ain't
Thank
that a
you.
bitch?
Thank you.
with with a total of 34. And our highest ranking was the very first one, which was
Yeah,
for me,
I fucking knew
Quarks,
it.
with a total of 53.
If this was a boxing match, Silver, or if this was like an MMA match, Silver came out just kicking you in the face. Just the bell rung and he was kicking.
I bet if MC Hammer sees this, he'll complain that Nin wasn't higher.
Probably.
Or teching with devil fruits.
Yeah, NC will be like, this should have been a 30?
Tekken, if you do see this, please leave a comment.
Pander into our favorite creators.
Yes.
Okay, with that, honorable mentions.
Ooh, I have a couple. Do you want to go first, Silver? Did you have any?
Yeah, I'll go first. My honorable mentions: breathing techniques from Demon Slayer. Also, sorcery from JJK.
Isn't
Non
stand? Not stands?
stands from JoJo.
Oh, you said
JoJo's,
JJK. I thought you said JoJo's. Sorry.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. JJK.
Domain
Because
expansion.
that is also super complicated, and I did not want to have to dive into that.
I was waiting on you to pick something like that.
Yeah, that'd be like a 40-minute long section of me just trying to explain it. And I
All
could
right.
go longer with Nin. Nin's super detailed on the Wikia.
Here's your domains.
Yeah. Here's something that counters domains. Here's something that you can have a domain inside a domain. More power sources. The bus from Magic School Bus.
Jesus Christ.
And also, I just watched it too. I was going to add it to my list. I forget what it is now. The mutant gene from X-Men.
That was when we talked about before.
Yeah.
I had a couple superhero ones on here.
Okay. That is all of mine.
Mondi?
On to you, Mage. Mage or Mondi?
I can go. As Mage said earlier, Zatch Bell, the books that
Ooh.
brought them back.
I brought that up as an example and I didn't even think about adding it. That would have actually been a really good one.
I just thought of another one real quick to go back to early 2000s shows. Bit Beasts from Beyblades.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I just thought of one.
Right in the
Bakugan.
heart. Oh, Bakugan too.
The Chaos Emerald, Chaos Energy
From
from Sonic
Sonic.
the Hedgehog. I don't know if it counts. The Warp Star from Kirby.
Not
I would
really.
say
It's more of
probably
an
not
item.
because I don't think it's a power generator. I don't think he's getting energy from it.
Yeah, he gets more power energy from sucking.
He does. He does get power from sucking. You could say like absorption for Kirby.
Reboot. The energy of the computer.
I never watched that show.
Technically, yeah. That'd be the same with Code Lyoko.
Oh yeah. What was the universe had a name? Was it was Lyoko, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was the power of Lyoko.
Then I think that's all I got.
Yeah, a couple other ones. The one that I mentioned before was DBZ's Key. Was one. Kaiju number 8 actually has 2. And Silver and I talked about this before. They have Unleashed Combat Power, which is how they grade humans based on their power, and then Fortitude, which is the ability, like destructive ability of the kaiju. So both those were options as well. A big one none of us did was Chakra in Naruto.
I mentioned it.
Yeah, it was. I told Silver about this. We were gonna stick with like ones that we knew, and I thought someone was gonna pick that. I was like, someone's gonna pick Chakra right away, but it didn't even get used. Very cool. A couple of niche ones that I had: the Power Rangers Morphing Grid. I thought was a really cool one. The Green Lantern Corps, their power rings. The Cardinal Weapons from Rising of the Shield Hero. And then this was the one that I was going to go with before I thought of the Force. The Speed Force from The Flash. That one would have been, like Silver said, very overcomplicated. That would have been a 30-minute explanation for sure.
I also just thought of another one that I had missed.
Mhm.
As Mage said in the beginning before we started recording, there is Haki and Ryua from One Piece.
The
Same
fuck is
thing.
Ryua?
It's the same thing.
Oh, it's hockey.
It's
Okay.
it's
It's
Wano's
Haki and
version of
Wano,
Haki.
Oh.
which is a more condensed version of hockey.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, where you can do an air punch and hit somebody.
Okay.
You can-
So Silver, are you adding up our scores or do you want us to add them up?
I got them all added.
Okay. Who was the
Silver,
middle? Let's start with that. Who didn't win and did lose?
who found the safe
Well,
space? I thought you said you had them added up.
I didn't add all three together, but I got my
I got my
calculator real
score.
quick.
Or we could just text you our scores and then you read them off.
I got a calculator on my phone.
My phone died, but I calculated it right before it died, so I'm good.
Yeah, I got
I'm
mine
already
too.
disappointed.
You're
My phone
disappointed.
always dies when I'm back here.
Oh. I think maybe you were disappointed with your
Well,
score.
you could take a phone charger.
Yeah, but then I gotta find a
Okay,
phone charger.
you got all your porter packs.
Yeah, but then I gotta find a cord that actually charges my phone fast.
Wireless charging.
I'm not fancy enough to have wireless charging.
Your phone does have wireless charging. You just don't have a wireless portable charger.
Right.
So with scores,
Oh,
second
boy.
place coming in at 140 points. Super
FFA.
Mage.
Yes, let's go. I didn't lose.
I'm gonna go leave now. I
Coming in
quit.
at
Bye.
his favorite number. Coming in at his favorite number combination for passwords is Mondi with 123.
I knew that's what it was going to
Hey,
be.
don't
How
tell
much did you
people my
beat me
path.
by?
And my total was 145.
Fucking cheating, bitch.
It was the halfies.
Even if I would bump the force up to 6, it still wouldn't have been enough. So
Yeah. I lost because you graded the force low, dick.
but since we are recording this one late, Mondi doesn't get to choose,
Monty doesn't get to choose.
as we have
Very
already
sorry.
chosen our next one to start researching, and that is going to be the class of the category we put as boy geniuses, but it's just going to be geniuses in general.
Yep.
And it's going to include intelligence, martial prowess, and magic.
Mhm. So we can go ahead and touch on this. The general categories we're going to use for this, because this is such a really complex category, we're going to be going with intelligence. How smart are they within their universe? Would they be considered intelligent in other universes? Their feats. So what have they accomplished with their intelligence? Have they ever been outsmarted? What has their intelligence helped them overcome? So like, how is it used essentially? And then I think we use this one a lot, is the cool factor. How cool are they? Are they respected within their universe for their intelligence? How does it play
Oh,
into their ability to interact with others? Things like that.
so I lied. We're
What?
not including magic or martial prowess in this one.
We can. No, I mean it would just be how you spin it.
Yeah,
Because like,
we can do those separately because intelligence is kind of would work good for just all these because there's a bunch of smart characters.
yeah. Do I have? I started my list already.
So for cool factor, would you say it's like a vibe check?
Almost, yeah. I mean, that's how I'm gonna play it, at least.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much. Ah,
Also, that brings our scores for anyone that is curious. Silver now has 3 wins, pulling ahead like an asshole. I have
haha.
2 wins, and Mondi has 1 win.
fuck you!
Clip that.
Oh, the little Mondi who thought he could.
He was doing really well up until love.
I mean,
I
Not
actually think we
really
might have
his
all been tied.
Devil Fruits 40, Spirit Energy 49, Love 34.
So Spirit Energy, he got almost he got almost 50 points on, which is a lot.
Yeah. Grimoire 49, Pyrokinetics 51, Force 40,
The Force held me back.
Quirks 53, Nin 43, Magicules 49.
Yeah. I was nice with Magicals because it sounds cool. Next time I'm going to be a dick.
Anything
Is that all
else?
for the recording?
All right. With that, Kayak with the outro. Maybe. Hopefully.
Please join us.
Chaotic, do your job.
Hello, Chaotic here. Thank you for listening to Archetype Apocalypse. Mage, Monde and Silver will be back to debate soon, but if you just can't wait to get your hands on more, check out the other projects within Mythic Gates on Discord or at monstersmythe.wixsite.com. A quick tip since Silver can't hear me either. If you sub to Patreon, you get episodes a week early. Don't tell him I told you. See you next time, AA Fiends.